quickly. This is hold on a second. Did I lose my mic, y'all? Let me know if you can still hear me. Let me know if you can still hear me. You can't hear me? Oh gosh. Okay, I'm gonna undo that mic. Let me know if you all can hear me still. I am defaulting to my device's mic instead of my outside mic. So let me know if you can still hear me. Okay. How you doing, Miss Gwendolyn? Thank you so much for joining today. I'm glad you all can hear me. It is not your phone, Welly. How you doing, Welly? It's good to see you as well. It's not your phone. I don't know what happened to my mic, but my mic went out. But I hope you all can hear me now. It was not y'all. For whatever reason, my mic stopped working. So I'm going to use the mic that is attached to the device just so we don't have any issues. I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. Hello, Kiki. How you doing? Thank you for joining today. I appreciate you. So today is going to be, like I said, it's going to be one of many days to come within the next few weeks that I'm going to be sharing bits and pieces of my heart, my story, my journey that's going to be leading up to the release of my newest book. So today, during our 11 a.m. talk, this was going to be a little bit personal. Prayerfully, you will see yourselves in the conversation. I like to coin myself as the mirror mentor. I am someone who holds up a mirror to you. I allow you to see yourself through my own life, my own stories. I don't have answers for you, everybody. I don't have all the answers, but what I can do is allow my life to be a reflection for you so that you can see yourself, right? So, my newest book and my conversational narrative series, for those of you who have never you don't know you've never seen my work, this one is my very first book. It's entitled Speak with Chic, One Woman 10 Truths, and then my second is entitled When I Met Him. These are the first and the second of my conversational narrative series. The third book, so it's been 5 years, y'all. I published this in 2020. I published this one in 2018. It's been 5 years since I published a book within the conversational narrative series. I published some other things. I've got questions, a Bible study. I've got Sit With You for a Minute, Sis, which is a 31-day reflective, self-reflective journal. I've also published an ebook, which is a compilation of spoken word poetry, but I had not released another book in the series. These are the heart of what I do. So the new book that I will be releasing on August 29th is titled A Runner's Lie. This I'm just beginning to release the title. I haven't been talking much about the title. I've mentioned it before, but I've not actually fully said, okay, this is what we're doing. So the third book in the series is titled A Runner's Lie. I know, y'all. I already know. Today's topic is why I was running. Today, I want to talk about why I used to run. The beauty about the books that I write is I write books of release. The reason it takes me so long to release a new book in the conversational narrative series is because I know that called to write. I've been called to write these once I have fully dealt with a thing, once I have fully released that thing, I've given it over. It is not something that I deal with anymore. This book was all about self-esteem, This book was all about falling in love with myself again, being able to accept me for who I am, taking off the mask, dealing with the trauma. Like this, that's what this book was about. Once I got to a place where I was no longer dealing with self love, self esteem issues, I was able to release this book. This book dealt with relationships and my cycles in relationships. This book really deals with how the cycles began. It deals with it, it shows you the cycles in action, and it leaves you in a place where I decide like there's no need for me to continue doing this. I could not write this book until I was ready to stop going through cycles and relationships, and to go ahead and settle myself and be who God has called me to be when it comes to relationships. So I could not release this book until I was ready to own the things. This third book, The Runner's Lie, I was it's taken me 5 years to pen this particular book. And I'm going to talk to you all today about why I used to run. But it took me a while to decide that I would go ahead and release The Runner's Lie because I was still running. If I can just be honest with you all, I was still running. When the Lord led me from Washington State back to Augusta, Georgia, I was like, why? You know, I don't want to be there. You know, it is the land of my affliction. You know that that's just not a healthy place for me. It's not a good place for me. I've been running from this place for years and years, not realizing that I wasn't running from Augusta. I was running from myself. I was running from childhood trauma that happened in this place. I was running from all sorts of things, but everywhere I went, I took me with me. All of the trauma that happened in this place, all of the years of just stuff that happened in this place, I was living out in other places. I have come to understand I was brought back into this place in order to bring me back to myself, to be able to deal with those things so I can stop running. And when I tell y'all, if you read Speak with Sheep, One Woman, 10 Truths, I discussed that a little bit in one of the narratives where I talked about how I don't have a lot of memories. I don't have a whole lot of memories, childhood memories and young adult. I don't have a lot of them because I was just always running somewhere, running from something or running to something. And if you're running away and running to at the same time, you really find yourself just stuck. Because if you're running away from it while you're running to it, you just really end up in this place of being still and stagnant, right? So the runner's lie, I'm so happy to be able to share the runner's lie with you all when I release it fully, because I believe it's going to help a lot of people get free. It's going to help a lot of people get free. And so, if you're new to what I do, each one of my conversational narratives have 10 conversations within them. They have 10 conversations, and they're short narratives, short pieces of prose, either short stories or essay style, but there are 10 chapters, 10 narratives that I share. Well, the runner's lie, it also has 10 scenarios. So it's 10 short pieces of prose, but there are 10 situations or 10 scenarios that I have lived through that are indicative of a lie that we tell ourselves to keep running. Yes. So today I'm going to talk about why I used to run. Hey, Cece, how you doing? Oh, Kiki, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Yes, Cece. I'm a mirror mentor. That I pinned that. I said I'm in the process of marking that. I'm the mirror mentor. I don't have any answers for you, but I know how to hold up a mirror and tell you to look at yourself, right? And help you to deal with yourself and to see you. Thank you so much, Miss Gwen. Yes, I haven't released it yet. August 29th is going to be the release date. So I appreciate you. Who is this? I'm sorry. Sweet D Speaks. Thank you so much for popping in this morning. I appreciate you. Cecilia says she's a runner. Yeah. She's a runner. She's a track star. Yes, honey. Yes. And you're right. There's only so much running that you can do. You're absolutely right, sis. Absolutely right. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the conversation I want to have today. All right. So y'all know I can only be real and truthful and honest with you all. I used to run, and I don't mean like marathon running, although I did used to run. I picked up racing, like 5K and 10K racing. I have medals hanging up on my mirror. I run 5Ks, I run 10Ks. I got, excuse me, I got to a place where I was like physically running, but that's not the type of running that I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about emotional, mental, spiritual running. Honey, like Cece said, I was a whole track star. I was an emotional, mental, spiritual track star, y'all. And I ran from hard conversations. And I didn't just run from conversations because I would tell people, like, I'm just non confrontational. I just don't want to talk about that. I was a people pleaser, just didn't want to deal with things. I ran from jobs that stretched me too much. I was like, oh, I just can't do this. I don't want to do this. I ran from jobs. I ran from relationships, right? Relationships that held those mirrors up to me where I had to like deal with myself. I promise you, I think just about every relationship I've ever had as a young adult woman, I self sabotage. I can honestly say there was self sabotage in it. When women say that there are no good men in this world, I say I don't believe that. I have met some amazing men in this world. I have met some wonderful men who are good men, are God men. I just really have. I cannot say that I'm a woman who just didn't meet good guys. I can say that I'm a woman who met good guys who didn't believe that I was deserving enough to like keep one of them. I know that's hard to believe. Some of you probably look at me and like, nah, Angel, like you're so tough and strong and you're so wise and all the things. I know. But the angel Charmaine Wright that is sitting before you right now is not the angel Charmaine Wright who was at 20 years old. I'm not the angel Charmaine Wright at 30 in my 30s. I'm a different angel Charmaine Wright sitting in front of you at 48 years old. And I can tell you that there was a time, my teen years, my 20s, my 30s, I can say to you that, like, hey, I self sabotaged many relationships with great guys. Why? Because I had this thought, this thinking that I wasn't good enough for this thing. So I'm gonna move on to something else, or I'm gonna get this thing, but I'm not gonna get to keep it. And so, yeah, I get all this good stuff, and then all of a sudden, I got issues. I don't like this. I don't like that. I'm complaining about this. I'm complaining about that. Right? I remember y'all. I'm gonna share this with y'all because I have stories for days. Okay, Mama, love you. Be safe. I'll see you when you get back. Hi, Gemma. How are you doing? Thank you so much, Gemma. Gemma is in the Philippines, y'all. Gemma's in the Philippines. So I remember, y'all. I met this guy. I was in college. This is the foolishness I used to do. Just straight foolishness. Just straight foolishness. Met this guy in college. He worked at the one of the TV stations in Savannah. I met him while I was in college. Y'all, handsome guy, smart guy, good job, really liked me. I'm not being braggadocious or anything, but one thing I've never had a problem with, I have never had a problem with meeting a man. I've never had a problem with a man liking me. I've never had a problem with keeping a man. Even though y'all say, well, you ain't got, I've never had an issue with keeping a man. I've had an issue with staying put with a man, like not leaving that man. So this particular guy, handsome guy, good job, all the things, likes me and everything. Y'all, Y'all know why I broke up with the guy. This is the kind of foolishness. This when I say self-sabotage, when I say running, when I tell you that I would just find reasons. I stopped dealing with the guy because I said I remember talking to my friends. I mean, at the time we thought it was funny. We all thought it was funny. I mean, I think it's funny now. I know that it's sad that I did stupid stuff like this, but it was funny and it's still funny. I remember telling my friend, I was like, girl, he got a heavy tongue. I broke up with a good guy because I said he had a heavy tongue. And what do I mean by heavy tongue? When he talked, his tongue looked, it sounded and looked heavy, like he had a big tongue, like it filled his mouth. I don't know. And when he talked, it's like his tongue just kind of his tongue just kind of sat in his mouth. And then he would be talking, and I would just be like, "Can you pick up your tongue?" You know what I'm saying? It's stuff like that. Or I'm like, his feet look funny, or it was just always something. It was always something that just wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And here you meet this wonderful person, and bam, here again, it's my subconscious mind creating a situation that's not really a situation. My mind creating something that says like, this is too good to be true. This is too good. You're gonna lose it anyway. It's not gonna stay forever. So here I go, creating a situation is not a situation that leads to a situation for me to be able to say, see, I knew it wasn't gonna work. So then I get to move on to the next thing. Just foolishness. So even that's where this book came in, getting to a point where I would acknowledge the cycles that I was in so I could get out of them. So with the runner's lie is me saying, okay, you've got to acknowledge the running. You have got to acknowledge that you refuse to stay still. I ran from dreams that felt too big, right? I ran from the truth that just seemed too real and too raw. I remember when I came out of college, believe it or not, I wanted to be a superintendent of a school system. That was my after college um, dream. I was going to, I had finished my undergrad. I had a bachelor's degree in secondary education with an emphasis in English. I was going to go teach for a few years, go back to school. I wanted to get some years of teaching under my belt, go back to school and get my master's degree, and then go and get my doctorate. And I wanted to be a superintendent of a small school system because I felt like the real big decisions that are impactful happen at that level. And I wanted to be able to help students at a level where I felt like I had some influence, and I had some say over how things are done. But guess what? I did not do that. I did not do that. And I know that. And then it was like, well, I'm married now. I have children. Um, I had all the reasons why that wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. You'll even talk yourself out of it. Like, oh, I don't even want to do that anymore. That's for this or that or the other. But the truth is that that was a really big dream. Probably, I'm sure it was an attainable dream. Where I am at 48 years old, I believe that I would have probably been a great superintendent of a school system. But at the time, it was a dream that just felt really big. And so instead of pursuing it, I did some other stuff, right? And I'm gonna tell you what's really wild. For those of you who are just coming in, this 11 a.m. talk with Angel is all about why I used to run, and why I'm no longer in a place of being a runner, and I bless the Lord for that. But what's really wild about this idea of running is that most folks didn't even know I was running. That's the trick. Good runners will make everybody else around them believe that they're just brave when they're really being cowardly. Most folks didn't even know that I was running, y'all, because I was productive while I ran. I was running, but I was still a really good teacher. I was running, but I became a wife. I was running, but I became a mother of four children. I looked successful while I was running. I was running, but I was living in another country that other people are scared to do, right? I was running. I was also serving while I was running. I was building things while I was running. I was leading things while I was running, but I was running. I was also avoiding things at the while I was running. So I was really good at making people feel like she, a lot of people say, you're just so brave, Angel. I could never do that. I could never take that risk. I could never go anywhere on my own. I could never do that. And so it looks so me running for many people look courageous. But if I can just be vulnerable with you all today and say to you that all of it wasn't courage. I'm not going to say that I'm not a courageous person because I am. But I must be honest and say that running comes easy for me. I have reinvented myself 4 or 5 times in life. I have picked up and sold everything and left it. And so you will say, "Oh my gosh, Angel, I could never do that. How do you do that?" So when the Lord said, "Angel, I want you to come out here and walk on the water," when I tell y'all that, the reason that it was so easy for me, because y'all are like, "Oh my gosh, I don't know if I could sell everything that I have. I don't know. I don't know if I could just like," when I say that in January 2018, I heard the Lord say, "Are you ready to walk out on the water with me?" And I said, "Yes, Lord." And so I sold everything that I had. I was like, "Lord, I'll start over. It don't matter if I got to be homeless." When I say that, y'all are like, "Yes, that's so amazing." But what y'all don't realize is that that's easy for me. It's not the first time I've done it. In 2010, when my husband and I were getting ready to separate from each other, I left. I left everything. I left my children with their dad. They stayed here in Georgia. I went to another country. I left. I just left. I went to nowhere. I went to a place I never heard of. I just left. Everybody's like, "Oh, you're so brave." No, it wasn't. It's not that it wasn't brave, but there was a running that was taking place. Why? I don't really want to even deal with what's going on here. I just want to go. I just need to go. I just need to get out because I'm suffocating. So I get to this new place. I come back. I come back into the States, right? I come back to Augusta. I'm like, nah, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. I got a job over in South Carolina. My ex-husband, he had friends, and I really felt really badly about it, but they helped me get a job over in South Carolina. I didn't even stay in that job the half of a semester. I started getting physically ill. I was like, I can't even be in here in this space anymore doing this. Gotta go, gotta go. Move from Augusta, pack up me and my children. We get up and go. We moved to Tennessee with nothing, nothing. I had a friend, moved us to Tennessee, got into a new house. I was working for the Department of Defense. Now, mind you, those of you watching are going, "Oh my gosh, Angel's so amazing. She got a job with the Department of Defense." I ain't never had a job. I've never had an issue getting a job. She working with the Department of Defense. She in Tennessee. She doing all these great things. Her and the boys, right? That's what everybody sees. For me, it's a fresh start. It's a fresh start, right? So I get to get a fresh start. I'm in Tennessee. I'm working. I'm doing this. The school. I'm like, I get another opportunity. This is how the enemy works. Get another opportunity, right? So mind you, I have a good friend who said to me, "Angel, if you gonna do what God wants you to do, if He gotta put you in Antarctica and you ain't got nowhere to go, you gonna do what He said." So I was like, it is what it is, girl. I got this. I moved from Tennessee to Kentucky, went to another military base, got to Kentucky. They were having a rift, a reduction in force. I didn't even get rifted. But I was like, you know what? I don't even want to be bothered with all this foolishness here. I don't even want to teach anymore. I'm done with this. So another opportunity comes up to be an Army Wounded Warriors advocate. I take on that job. That job moves me from the East Coast to the West Coast, literally to Washington State. I'm there. It's a new start. It's a fresh start, y'all. Right? Every time I go, I sell everything. Listen to me. Listen. Every new place, when I went overseas, I went with my luggage. When I moved to Tennessee, I went with luggage. When I went to Kentucky, I sold everything that I had in Tennessee. We went with our luggage. I just start fresh wherever I go. I buy new beds, I buy new furniture, everything is new. Move from Kentucky to Washington. I was like, there's no need to ship all this stuff. Sold it all. I moved to Vancouver, Washington. I'll start fresh. Get there, start all over. Buy new clothes, new beds, new furniture, new everything. So start fresh. I get to start fresh. I get to do over. When I moved back, when and I was in Washington, when the Lord said, "Are you ready to come follow me?" I was like, "Yes." Mind you, I'm used to starting fresh. Hey, Faye, how you doing? Good morning. So I'm used to starting fresh, right? I'm talking to you all today about why I used to run. It's important for you to acknowledge that you're a runner. There are more of you who run. I'm not the only one out here in these streets running like a track star. So here I am. The Lord says, "Are you going to follow me?" I said, "Yes, Lord." So guess what? By this time, I'm used to starting over. I'm used to it. So it's like, okay, hey, what I didn't realize, what I didn't realize is that the Lord would send me, and saying yes to him, he would send me back to the place that I've been running from all these years. Sent me right back to what I call the land of my affliction. That's what I call Augusta. I call Augusta, Georgia, the land of my affliction, y'all. Because it is. It's the land in which I was afflicted. The majority of my childhood trauma had took place in this land, in this place. Little did I know that all that running from this state to that state, to this country, to this job, to that place, would all bring me right back to the very place that I've been running from for years. And it's in this place where the Lord said, "Stay still." The directive from heaven was, "Be still and know that I'm God in the land of my affliction." There are so many times in the past 7 years, so many times in the past 7 years that I have wanted to leave. I have wanted to just go get a job somewhere, move anywhere. I can go anywhere. You could plot me anywhere and I'm going to be successful. And it just is. So many times in 7 years where I was like, I just want out. I don't want to do this no more. I want to scrap this. I don't want to do no speak up. I don't want to do none of that. I don't want to do none of this. I don't even want to be here. Just I'll go anywhere. So many times where I was like, if you just let me go, I'll go to whatever city, whatever state. I was like, I'll be a waitress somewhere. I don't care. You can drop me in the middle of nowhere and I'm going to thrive just because it's my nature to do so. But the Lord said, what I'm requiring is that you be still. Stop running. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I will take care of you. Be still. Stop running. Sit with yourself. Sit with me. Sit with you and me. Be still. For 7 years, the directive has been be still. It has been a very difficult, it's been a very difficult time. Some of you are like, "Oh, I don't see how you do it. I could never just uproot and leave." And what I want you to what I want you to understand is that when you are a runner, when you are someone who just runs from the truth, when you run from situations, when you run from yourself, other people may look at you as you're so strong and you're so tough and you're just doing all these wonderful things and you just take risks and all the things. When the truth is that you're afraid to be still. You're afraid to look at yourself. You're afraid to just have to deal with you. You're afraid to have to deal with all the hard things. You're afraid to confront yourself. Being still requires self-control. Being still requires long suffering. As long as you can get up and start fresh, you never have to suffer a while. You're always running from the consequences of your decisions. You're always, oh, it's just new, it's just fresh, it's just, oh, you never really have to deal because you're always running. I used to run so I wouldn't have to deal. Are y'all with me today? Am I talking to myself today? I don't know. Am I talking to me by myself? Oh, okay. I guess I wrote a book for myself then. Maybe this isn't gonna be a book for y'all. Maybe the runner's lives for some other people. I don't know. But I know for me, there were lots of reasons, lots of different things that kept me in a place of running from myself and running from the truth. You understand? I ran because I didn't there are times that I just didn't even want to feel. I didn't want to feel. I did something hurtful happen. I don't want to deal with it. When I got a divorce, because I asked for a divorce. My husband did not. He didn't divorce me. I divorced him. Right. Even the divorce was a run. Was a way to run instead of sitting still with the issues that we were dealing with, because we didn't have issues that should require a divorce. We just didn't. When I look back, I was like, oh gosh, like those situations are so work outable. They did not require divorce. But the divorce was a run. And when you're like, when you can come up, that's the thing about runners. You can come up with all the reasons why you need to go. And they sound like good reasons, and everybody believes you because you just sound so, like what you're talking about. I ran because I didn't want to feel. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to. I feel like I'm suffocating it under the weight of all of this, and so I ran. I ran because slowing down meant I had to face what was hurting. I had to face what hurt me. I had to face what caused pain. Right? Sitting still meant that I had to hear the lies that I had already spoken to myself. I had to sit with the limiting thoughts, the limiting beliefs. I had to sit with all of the reasons and all the excuses. I had to sit with those things. Right? I had to sit with the fact that I said I'm fine so many times until I actually started believing it and made other people believe it too, but I wasn't fine. I ran because I wasn't okay, but I wanted to be okay. I know it sounds silly, doesn't it? But it's the truth. It's the truth. I ran. Why? Because I told myself this isn't a big deal. It's not a big deal. When I sit down and I think about the fact that I literally uprooted my life after in my ninth year of teaching, almost vested, 10 years I would have been vested, uproot my whole life in 9 years of teaching. I say, okay, I got little children. I say, y'all are going to stay with your daddy and I'm going to go. I literally, and then it was like, oh, like it's not a big deal. It's like, oh, this is just something people do. It's just not something that people just do. The fact that not running forced me to sit down and say, yes, it was something that the Lord allowed me to do, but was it something that he led me to do? Did God allow me to do it, or did God lead me to do it? Because those are two totally different situations. I ran because I didn't want to have to sit down with myself and deal with my reasons, my whys, my all of my stuff. Right? I didn't want to deal with the lie of, I can just start over. I'll just start over somewhere else. A fresh start is going to be okay. It's a lie. Why is it a lie? Because you're going to take you with you everywhere you go. You are going to take you with you. And so running keeps you from having to sit still. That's why when I wrote Sit With You for a Minute, Sis, it's a 31 day of self reflection. I wrote that because I know the importance of sitting down and being still with yourself, having to ask and answer the hard questions. I ran because staying felt unsafe. Running was a protective device for me. It was a protection. Remember, I said I felt like I was suffocating. Literally, I just felt like I was suffocating. And I just want to say to you that learning how to be still, learning how to sit still with yourself, sit still with the Lord, and deal is not going to destroy you. I guarantee you that learning how to sit still and stop running is not going to destroy you. It absolutely is not. When you do not know how to confront what's breaking on the inside of you, then you're going to run because it just feels safe, right? It's the fight or flight. I would just fly, I'm gone, right? I just kept on moving. I just kept on going, just hopping from one place to another. You just get to a place where you just hope that the distance from the thing will bring about healing. You know what I'm saying? People say, well, time heals all wounds. I don't know if I believe that. I don't believe that. I think acknowledging that you're hurt and actually using a balm that can heal that thing is what will help heal. But distance and time, I'm not really sure if that's going to help you heal. Distance and time may help keep you from being re-injured by the same person. But what I've learned is that if you don't truly heal, if you don't deal with you, then you will take a wounded you into a new place and no, the old thing isn't re-wounding you, but now you got fresh wounds from something else. New people will wound you. New situations will cause hurt. Why? Because you never actually healed in the first place. You just went somewhere else thinking that distance and time were going to heal, and they don't. What I have learned, and the reason I've been able to release or get ready to release the runner's lie, is that because what I realized for myself is that you just can't outrun a lie. You cannot outrun a lie that you still believe. Do y'all hear me? You cannot outrun a lie that you still believe. I can laugh about it now because I know just how true it is. I absolutely can. I feel like I'm talking to myself today, but I'm going to talk to myself and I'm going to leave this here for those of you who will catch this on the replay. Pick it up and catch it when you can. How about that? Pick it up and catch it when you can. If I don't see my chat is no longer moving, so I feel like I'm by myself, but it's okay. I'm going to keep sharing because I know I'm not alone in this. My voice is so hoarse right now. Oh, okay. Kiki said, I mean, I know you be working and doing some other things while you're listening. So thank you for letting me know that I'm not by myself, sis. Hello, Eureka. How you doing? Welcome into the space this morning. I appreciate you. Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I figured. That's what you always say that you're working. That's what's up. So today, if you are just coming into the space, today I am sharing with you all why I was a runner. I'm sharing with you all why I was a runner and why I kept running and the truth that I figured out. It has taken me 7 years, y'all. It's taken me 7 years of the Lord leading me right back to the very place that I was running from. It took me 7 years to get to a place where I can say I'm no longer a runner. Like I am so willing to stay in the land of my affliction until the Lord decides to make it the land where he prepares a table for me. I'm willing to stay in the land of my affliction until it becomes my promised land or my blessed place. I remember at the beginning of this, when I first came back, I was like, Lord, why are you sending me back to the land of my affliction? I don't want to be there. You know, I don't want to be there. And I heard the Lord say, Angel, I'm going to prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies in the land of your affliction. But you got to go back. You got to go back. I didn't understand it at the time. I promise you, I did not want it. Y'all just don't even understand. I did not want to come back to this place. But it has taken me 7 long years 7 long years for me to get to this place where I will say, you know what, Lord, I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to fight it. I'm not going to tap dance. I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to try to fit in. I'm not going to try to do nothing. I'm just going to be a servant here in this land that you just want me to be in. I'm going to deal with myself. I'm going to let you heal me. I'm going to let you break me. I'm going to let you build me back up. I'm going to just sit still and be obedient in this place. It's taken me 7 long years to get to this place. I remember when I released 5 years ago when I met him, the Lord gave me the runner's lie right after that. As soon as I released when I met him, and I was like, oh, I don't deal with these relationship things no more. Lord, if you don't want me to be in that relationship, I ain't going to be in it. Lord, if you want me to stay, so I was good. As soon as I released when I met him, the Lord gave me the runner's line. I was like, oh, goodness. I don't want to write about this. Why? Because when I write a book in my conversational narrative series, it is a book of release. When you all see me release these conversational narratives, that means I don't deal with that no more. We ain't dealing with self-esteem and self-love issues no more. We ain't going through no cycles and no relationships no more. So now when I release the runner's lie, I bless the Lord that year 8 is a new year for me. It's a new year, a new beginnings for me. I believe that the Lord is going to allow me. I may not move from the place, but I believe that that table that he's been preparing, he's going to start putting some food on it. I truly believe that. Why? Because I'm at a place where I can acknowledge that I was a runner, that I've been running, that I've been running from truth. I've been running from myself. I've been just running from all sorts of things. And God has called me to be strong and courageous and to be still and know that he is God. I have come to realize that I've been running from some thoughts, some ideas that I still believe. So they just been really riding shotgun with me. You know, I get in the car and drive somewhere, the same thoughts and the same beliefs, they riding shotgun. I had to stop the car, open up the door and say, get out. I don't think this no more. I don't believe these things anymore. This ain't true. It's a lie straight from the pits that will say to me that you're gonna get good things, but you don't need to keep nothing. That's the enemy talking. That's not the God of heaven. That's the enemy talking. I had to own that you think that way. You believe that thing, and you gotta release that lie. You don't deserve this. I had to let that go. It's a lie to believe that just because you start over, everything gonna be great. You're not gonna have no consequences for your action. Just because if you do a whole bunch of foolishness in this city, you go into another city, you thinking, oh, my life gonna be so much better. No, you cannot run from the consequences of your actions. They follow you. You follow you. You go with you everywhere. Understand that. So then you got to ask yourself, you don't have to ask yourself, but but you may be asking yourself, Angel, okay, then what happened? Right? How did you go from acknowledging that you're a runner and dealing with that? Like what happens? And y'all know I like to call it the shift, right? A shift happened. And it wasn't until I got tired. You know how people say you just get sick and tired of being sick and tired? It wasn't until I got tired, it wasn't until my soul got tired. It wasn't until I got to a place where I just didn't have the energy to tap dance no more. I just didn't have the energy. I didn't have the bandwidth. I didn't have the desire to be brand new all the time, being a new person here, being a new person there, right? Meeting people and leaving people, meeting people and leaving people, connecting to people and then being pulled apart, starting things and then not finishing. I mean, you just really get tired. You get tired of not seeing the fulfillment of all the things that you start. Your soul just gets really, really weary. The shift happened for me because I just got tired. My soul got tired. My thinker, my feeler, my emotions, I just got tired. Right? You get to a place where you feel like if I start over one more time, I'm just gonna disappear. If I start over one more time, like and then you begin to sit and you think, nobody really knows me. I don't know about y'all, but as a runner, I got to a place where I realized like people don't really know, nobody really knows me, you know? And then you start wondering, like, how do people have friends and they do all these things? And I had to sit with myself and I had to realize like I've been to college two times. I earned an undergrad and a graduate degree. I don't remember the people I went to school with. You know how you all will go to, I see people go to like what do you call them at school and college, homecoming. I see people go to homecoming and they got all these friends and all these people they connecting. I don't have any friends from college that I can like. Nobody's calling me for homecoming like, girl, you want to go to homecoming? That's not happening with me. There's nobody for me to call and be like, hey, we're gonna go to home, we're gonna do this, we're gonna, there's none of that. I don't think, I think maybe I went to my undergrad homecoming one time. I've been out of school now for many years. I've been out of school now for 25 years. And I've been to one homecoming in 25 years. That was when I first graduated. But I don't go because I don't know nobody. When I see people, they be like, girl, you remember so and so, he did this, or you remember so and so, she was this. I don't remember those people. Why? Because I was just passing through. Right, Kiki, homecoming and reunions. I was just passing through. I was running to the next thing. I was trying to, when I was in college, I was running from the projects. I ran to college to get away from the projects. So I wasn't when I was getting my undergrad, I wasn't there soaking up the experiences. I wasn't there to meet friends and I wasn't there to establish lifelong bonds. I wasn't there to create memories. I was there so that I could get a degree that would keep me from having to go back to the projects because I knew that's where I was. There was nowhere else for me to go. So even going to school, I was running. I've been running a long time. Absolutely, Kiki. My focus was absolutely different. But here's the thing. There's a difference between having a healthy goal that you're wanting to attain and running. There's a difference. There's a difference. You can absolutely embrace where you are while working towards goals. Here, when I tell you, I don't have the memories. I don't have the memories. I don't. There are times when I had to own the fact that even as a mother, there's a lot of my children's childhood that I don't necessarily remember, because at that point I was, I was running to something else. I was just trying, just trying not to make the decision my mama. It was just so much of just, there's always running to something, having something to do, having something to prove, just always. And so even as a mother, yeah, so people would say, "Oh, you were such a great mom," and I did a good job with my sons. But when I tell you that I did not sit to embrace the time, I didn't. So I don't have a lot of memories. I don't have a I don't I just don't. I don't have a whole lot of like these really great robust memories. They have a lot of memories, but I don't. And so one day, I can remember getting to a point where I'm thinking, if I start over one more time, I'm just going to disappear. I'm not going to know who I am if I run to one more place. I'm not going to know who I am anymore. That's real talk. That's real talk. And y'all, when you get to that place, that's when the real healing can take place. That's when you really start dealing with yourself. I had a conversation with my cousin the other day, and so I was born and reared as a youngster in Savannah, Georgia. We moved to Augusta when I was about 11 years old, and she and I were talking, and she's well traveled. She's become more traveled than me. We're both well traveled, but she's traveled even more than I have, and we're about the same age. She's a year younger than me. She moved back to Savannah, and we were having this conversation. She moved back to Savannah because she said she wanted to go back to home to build from her roots. And I said to her, what's very interesting is that I don't really have a place where I'm rooted. I was born and raised in Savannah, but I don't know the place. Why? Because we moved when I was young. So I have memories there. I have childhood memories there. I was born, raised. I got family. Went to elementary. I have really good, robust childhood memories. But if you ask me where certain things are, do you remember this location? Do you remember this restaurant? Do you remember? I don't, because we left during childhood. So I don't have those roots like people who went to middle school and high school there. But then we moved to Augusta. And when we moved to Augusta, I wasn't born here. And this city, the what makes this city what it is people, they find uh they find camaraderie, they find solace, if you will, in being born and reared in this place. So being born here matters in this city. So even though I've been here for a long time, I'm still sort of an outsider, if you will, even here, even though I've been here probably longer than I was in my childhood in Savannah. So I find myself being this person who never really got rooted anywhere, not really rooted in Savannah, not really. So I told her, I said, I was trying to kind of come back home to Augusta to do like you and build in my city, but then I realized it's not my city. The people don't welcome me like it's my city. So where she goes home, they welcome her. She's a child. She was born there, raised there, went to school there, graduated there, went to college there. Me, I didn't do all those things there. So yes, I was born and raised there, but I don't know the place. And then I was brought up here, but I'm not. But it's not really. I ain't really from here, right? So I found myself going like, really. But then when I sat down with myself, I had to realize, Home is where you are, Angel. Home is where you are. I got the best compliment. Someone I was talking to somebody and they said, "You feel like home, Angel." I feel teary eyed right now. I was having a conversation and this person said, "You feel like home." I thought, wow, what a compliment that is. It's a beautiful thing. The shift is where the healing began to happen. And choosing to feel, and choosing to confront, and choosing to be honest is where I got to a place where I realized you're running away from yourself. You're running trying to be home in these different places when home is with you. The biggest lie that a runner can tell him or herself is that you're going to find home somewhere, and the truth is that you're running away from home. You're running away from yourself. This, y'all, is why I wrote The Runner's Lie. It's not just a book. Some of you are going to see it and you're going to be like, what is this? And I'm telling you, The Runner's Lie is not just a book, it is a mirror. I'm going to hold up the truth in your face. It's a map, y'all. I'm telling you, get ready for it. Just get ready, get ready, get ready, get ready. The Runner's Lie is gonna be, it's filled with moments for every one of us, especially women, because this book is written specifically for women. Men, I mean, if you want to read it, you can. But this book, this book is written specifically for women, and it is a moment for every woman who's ever been too afraid to stop and look at what's really going on. Some of you are running from, bills. I'll look at that later. I'll look at that later. I'll look at that later until you open your eyes one day and you realize, oh my goodness, I probably should have looked at this 5 months ago. So for the next few weeks, y'all, I'm going to be sharing different pieces of myself. I believe that at some level we're all kind of pretending, but I also believe that we're all ready to be honest. I do believe that it's time that we all stop running. I do believe that the Lord has brought me to a place of being still and knowing that He is God and not running. He has brought me to this place so that I can help you to acknowledge that, maybe you've been running. You might not be a track star. You might not be good at running, but you may be running from some things. And I want to help you to stop doing that. I really do. I see my mama watching. Mama, you're supposed to be shopping. You're supposed to be shopping, mama. You're supposed to be shopping. Yes, Kiki. Kiki says that is a great compliment. I have friends and associates that make me feel at home when interacting with them. Yes, absolutely. Right. Home is where the heart is. That's what they say. That's what they say. Armanda, how you doing? Armanda, when I saw your name, let me tell you what I thought of. I thought of Latoya when she be like, I'm a millennial. So I was gonna say, welcome my other millennial, my other millennial sister. Although I'm a Gen Xer, you and Latoya are my little millennial sister. That's what I thought. Every time I see your name, I think of Latoya and her millennials. Because when she introduced you, she's always like, "This is my millennial sister too. We're millennials." Hello, sis. Not sure if you're still here, but welcome and thank you for popping in. So yes, everybody, I appreciate you all for stepping in, for coming in here and talking with me today. If this conversation has connected with you or resonated with you, take a moment and to let me know in the chat. Like, is there if there's something that you've been running from, or maybe there's something that you're done running from and you want to stand still and know that he is God in that situation, put it in the chat. Let me know. And if you don't want to tell me, that's okay, because you don't have to, right? You don't have to tell me, but at least let me know. Say, yeah, Angel, I feel you. I understand. I got this, or whatever. If this conversation connected with you on some level, I want you to make sure that you are following me here on my Angel Wright Facebook page. If you're connected to me on LinkedIn, please make sure that you become a connection. I know LinkedIn, y'all like to watch me, but y'all don't talk as much, but I know you're watching me. So I hope that you're connected if you're not already connected. And those of you who are on YouTube, if you're not already subscribed to the Speak Up Sis YouTube channel, I welcome you to do that as well. Turn on the notifications, y'all. You can turn on notifications on all of these platforms. They allow you to turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything. So when I come into this space, it'll give you a notification, like you can come on in and be a part of the conversation with us. And so if you're not on the email list, you can go to speakupsis.com, and there's a pop-up that's going to come up on the screen. If you put your email in there, it will add you to the email list. I don't send out a lot of email. I probably need to send out more. But when I do send out anything, when I do send out something, you will see it. You will get that information. Okay. So if you are not on the email list, go to speakupsis.com so you don't miss what's coming. Remember, just some housekeeping before I get off of here. Hey, Deborah, I think you late today. Yeah, you got to catch the replay, sis, because I'm almost done. Deborah said I'll have to catch the replay. That's what's up. So listen, y'all, I just want to make sure that y'all are well aware. August 2nd. August 2nd, August 2nd, August 2nd. Here. What I do with them? Here to go. Speak Up Sis magazines. This is our latest edition right here. Speak Up Sis magazine. The summer 2025 edition is going to release. We're going to have an in-person. I'm going back to having in-person. We do them virtually. I am going to stream it live for those of you who are not local, or those of you who are not able to travel here. That's fine. I will stream it. But I am going back to having in-person magazine release parties. They are intimate. They're not great big things. They are intimate. We have them at the Speak Up Sis Empowerment Center. We're going to have the in-person magazine release for the 2025 summer edition on August 2nd. Saturday, August 2nd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am currently looking for a couple vendors, very specific. I would like a food vendor. If you know someone who is interested in being a food vendor for the 2025 Speak Up Sis magazine release party, if there's a vendor, if you're coming to the magazine release and there's a vendor that you would like to be there, please let them know. This is a vendor opportunity for them if they would like to vend. And I'll let you all know about some other vendors. If you know someone who is a photo booth person, let me know as well. I have a friend who has a photo booth. I may call her. But we always have a good time at the Speak Up Sis magazine releases. I got to reach out to Jay Will because I didn't tell him about this. Ugh. So I got to reach out to see if he has that date available. But we always have a really good time. It is when we do the cover reveal. And let me tell y'all, the 2025 Speak Up Sis Summer Edition is so beautiful. It's so beautiful, y'all. I've already my design team, they showed me what they were working with, and I was like, I absolutely love it. Remember, this edition is the theme is the music that moves us. So there are some interviews with some independent musicians inside of this particular edition. Two of the musicians are coming from Atlanta. They're going to be here with us. I'm really excited about that as well. Just going to have a good time. If you are local to Augusta, like I always invite y'all, but y'all don't ever come. But I'm inviting you. I'm going to keep inviting you. Okay. I don't care. I'm going to keep inviting y'all until you just be like, let me just go see what she's doing over there. So you are invited. Ticket information will be released this week. Probably by the end of the day, ticket information will be released. So you'll be able to grab your ticket, make sure that you're there. When we do things at the Speak Up Sis Empowerment Center, space is always limited because we do everything intimately. It's just what I've been called to do, to create these intimate spaces. So I will let you all know. Ticket information, grab you up a ticket, come hang out with us. We're gonna have a good time. We will reveal the cover at the event. It's gonna be beautiful. Everyone who attends the event, of course, you get access to the digital copy immediately, so you'll be able to look at it that day. I usually have a copy or two printed just so that you all can actually see it in print format. So we just have a really good time. You get first access. It's a networking event. You get to meet some new people. All the good things. We have fun. So August 2nd, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are available, you can drive in, fly in, walk in, whatever. I welcome you. Okay. Oh, Kiki is beautiful. Just let me say. So I will say this. I had a vision for another cover. I wanted to do, but I had a situation, and I wasn't able to have the photo shoot with the people that I wanted to have the photo shoot with on the day and all the things. I had a big hiccup that happened. So I had a vision for the cover that I didn't get to pursue. I'm gonna see about pursuing it later though, but I didn't get it for this one. However, it doesn't matter because my design team is amazing. And I was like, okay, we're not going to be able to do this. I had already talked to them. I was like, I want to do this. So we were planning for something. That something fell through. So I was like, what are we going to do? What are the ideas? We sat at the table. We thought about some stuff. And then I was like, oh, this would be great. Let's roll with this. And so they took the idea and they created a design. And when they sent me the design, I was like, oh, so beautiful. Yes, things always work out the way that they should. Deborah asked me, do they need a business license or food service credentials? Yes, because they're going to be serving food. And so absolutely. I can't be liable for other people's food. So yes, if they're going to vend, then yes, they need to have their own license, their own insurance to cover the food that they provide. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, Latoya, you back, sis? So yeah, I am all for creating spaces and providing opportunities for people who are chefs, cooks, in the food service, but you gotta, you got to get your business stuff in order because that's a heavy liability to bring people in who serve food, because if somebody gets sick or something like that, then my business will be responsible for it on my business insurance, and that's going to be a no. I'm not going to do it. So if you are a person who's a caterer or you vend food, that kind of things, then you really do need to go ahead and get your paperwork in order so that when you get opportunities to, show up and feed people, that folks will want to work with you, because nobody wants to take on that liability. I mean, I don't. All right. So please be mindful of that. But yes, That's a good question. That's a good question. All right, everybody. So until tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, God willing, I'll be right back here. And I won't be sharing every day about the Runners Live, but I will be incorporating some of my stories and some wisdom that I have learned that leads up to the release of the book. Again, if we are not already connected, go to speakupsis.com, join the email list, make sure that you are, that you're connected and that you get all the information. If you're not subscribed to Speak Up Sis magazine, you can go to speakupsismagazine.com and you can subscribe to the magazine and you can get all the updates about the magazine as well. Okay. And with that, y'all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all in these social media streets. And I'll see you back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard.